We are back with more Degrassi Next Generation stuff. It's season 6 in review. So season 6 started November 28th, 2006, and concluded on May 14th, 2007, and had 19 episodes. Now, the funny thing is that the US had Degrassi, and they actually premiered September 29th, a couple of months before Canada did. That was kind of weird. Usually Canada went first. But anyway, season depicted some people as they had challenges with imprisonment, that being Sean, online predators, Darcy, burglary, right? I forget about that. Substance abuse. I don't know who had that. Stress. I don't know who has that. Gambling. Oh, stress was Paige. Gambling addiction. Polly Ellie? I don't know. Financial difficulties. Many characters, I think. School rivalries. That being Lakehurst versus Degrassi. Pregnancy scares. That being Emma, and death, JT. This is the first season to have college age characters in prominent roles. Unlike the previous seasons, season 6 had only covered half a school year, one semester, if you will. And this is the first death of a main character in the series. So yeah, a lot of people had mixed reviews. Spinner and Snake had 16 episodes, with them Manny had 15. Emma was only in 13. That's nice. So anyway, reception was watched by fewer Canadian viewers, 767,000 viewers on average, and had one episode by a million. The first 12 episodes had 500,000, and then the first episode after the winter break was 645,000. Oh, that's for the United States, I guess. Anyway, there's a lot of mixed reviews. Heck, one guy from my local paper, the Waterloo Region Record, Joe Rubinoff, made some stuff. In 2007, he said that Degrassi Next Generation was one of his shows, saying, the greatest teen show on the planet rediscovers its mojo with a same-sex romance between control freak Paige and teen rebel Alex. The year's most compelling and bittersweet love story. And then he also added, years after compromising his integrity for a shot at the more superficial U.S. market, Degrassi Next Generation makes a welcome return to form with a season finale that trades not in the high school stereotypes it's relied upon, but on a tempered same-sex romance that mines real emotions with poignant dramatic effect. Huh. So anyway, CTV aired it in 2 blocks. The first 12 episodes were between November 28th and January 7th, Tuesdays at 8. And the second block was either Wednesdays at 9:30 after CTV's American thing of American Idol, or Mondays at 9:30 for Dancing the Stars. This episode's called the first episode was Here Comes Your Man, November 28th. This was when Emma is happy being with Peter because, Peter helped her get over her eating disorder from the previous season. That is until Sean actually comes back to Toronto and enrolls at Degrassi. She finds herself drawn to Sean as he and Peter are caught up in the street racing scene. Meanwhile, Marco grows overwhelmed when he has to juggle moving his stuff into the apartment with Dylan, choosing university courses with Ellie, and throwing Paige a going away party. And Ellie has to deal with her new roommate and writes an article about her. But unfortunately, the roommate catches on. But anyway, yeah, so this was big because Sean coming back and Emma finding out she has feelings for Sean. I guess her feelings for Sean still were there from season 4 because, Sean saved her life from Rick and all that. And Peter's not happy about it. Peter frames Sean for drugs and basically stays with Emma. Emma then forces Sean to go into prison and all that after Sean accidentally hits a pedestrian. Next episode is True Colors. Jay talks to Emma about why Sean should not be in jail and all that. He's in a lot of pain, all that. Emma, of course, is still with Peter and all that, despite some restrictions that Miss Hatzilakos have put on Peter. Emma's happy being with Peter and all that. Meanwhile, Ellie is devastated to find out that she tried to get a newspaper article written but got rejected. So basically, but anyway, yeah, Emma Emma is still torn between Sean and Peter, even though she is happy with Peter. Why does she have feelings for Sean? Manny helps her realize that, mostly by accident, by saying that, what's that mask? And Emma says, oh, it's a mask for, it's a mask that Peter put in my locker. And also, you got to remember, Emma did an illegal 50-50 draw to basically pay for a public defender for Sean, a lawyer for Sean, even though Emma still has feelings for Peter. So when Emma realizes the mask in her locker, how did it get there? Peter knows the combination, even though Emma told him nothing. He said that, oh yeah, I have my mother's master list. And Emma's like, oh my God, then you planted the drugs in Sean's locker, did you not? He says, I did it for us. Emma tells Peter, do not come anywhere near me ever again. You blew it. And then that forces her to be with Sean. Next episode is Can't Hardly Wait, when Jimmy actually gets to coach the girls' basketball team and wants to take a relationship with Ashley to the next level, but he can't get an erection. That's kind of a bad thing. But anyway, Darcy is the new Spirit Squad captain and clashes with Manny over the new girl, Mia. Mia is the girl that comes over from Lakehurst, and you'll find out more about her. This was the first time Mia was there. First of all, and then Eyes Without a Face in part 1 is that Darcy's trying to get rid of her good girl reputation and decides to be more exciting. But Peter introduced her to an online admirer who likes her pictures. Darcy exchanges racy pictures of herself for gifts. And JT finds himself interested in Mia, trying to move on from Liberty. I think it was mostly because Liberty didn't want to deal with JT and all that. And JT had troubles getting away from Liberty. Darcy begins exchanging racing. Yeah. I mean, Peter is kind of a jerk and all that. This kind of asks why Peter is the anti-hero of the season 6. And Darcy continues to post pictures on the internet, but her biggest fan decides to meet face to face. Meanwhile, Ellie tries to get rid of her fraternity. So anyway, Spitter tries to take an aptitude test. But when Jimmy decides to design and sell t-shirts, they decide to go into business and open a store, which was kind of nice and all that. And Alex returns to Degrassi to get more credits, but her bullying past comes back to haunt her. I'm guessing it's because, she got confronted with the fact that she, was part of the Paint and Feathers to destroy Rick. And of course, Alex never confessed or never was found out. I mean, I wish that she had just confessed and taken punishment and all that. Sean finally gets out of jail and reunites with Emma and thinks that Emma is still perfect, but Emma's not. She isn't as innocent as she seems. Sean decides to leave for the airport, but then finds a picture of Emma and basically realizes that Emma is not perfect either. No one's perfect. And all that. Of course, you know what Emma did with Jay. And I think Jay basically told Sean what had happened. Basically, he was telling him about what Emma had to deal with. Oh yeah, Claire was introduced in Nice Without a Face, part 1. And then Derek has a problem with Mr. Perino. And then you got yourself, what does it feel like to be a ghost? Craig is back in town for a music festival. Tries to reunite with Manny. But Manny has to decide whether this Craig is good or not. And Liberty's upset over the fact that JT's with Mia and all that, and decides to tell the truth about JT. I think it's just how Liberty's bitter. I mean, she's the one who broke it up with JT. I think she basically was hoping that JT would find somebody and all that. I think it was also because of the fact that JT was dating a girl who had a little kid, Isabella, who was 2 years old, and Liberty felt jealous. Ellie blames Manny for Craig's drug addiction, even though that he's lying about things. Unfortunately, Degrassi Lakehurst has a school rivalry that heats up. And Lakehurst wants to get rid of JT for dating Mia, who used to date one of their gang members. That being Nick, not Lucas. I thought it was, because remember, Lucas is the one who impregnated Mia. But anyway, Johnny DeMarco makes his debut in this one. The 11th episode is Rock This Town, when Manny decides to throw a party at the Nelson's house. While Spike and Snake are out of town, and uses Libby's birthday as a guise. But unfortunately, the night throws out of control when word gets out. And talking about Degrassi tragedy, this was the first appearance of Damien in this series. Yeah, so basically, she wanted to throw a party. Emma was on board kind of because she could be with Sean and all that, but she accidentally drinks too much and basically passes out and doesn't know much. JT, of course, is conflicted about who he should be with, Mia or Liberty. Toby tells him that basically he has to follow his heart. So basically, JT makes this weird comparison with oatmeal and Italian meatball stew or something like that. So he goes to find Liberty. Meanwhile, Johnny DeMarco and Drake Lampley, the redhead kid, pee on JT's car. JT makes a joke about it, but Drake basically stabs him in the back. And JT dies because the thing hit his aorta. Yeah, I know Liberty's primal scream was sucky, but it was sad to see Toby, Sean, Emma, and Liberty embrace sadly when JT dies. It just shocks me. And all that. The bitterless pill is that in the aftermath of JT's murder, all of Degrassi will be mourning. Toby and Liberty somehow kiss, and he wonders if he should let Liberty know about JT's true feelings. You know, Ellie tries to tell Jessie about the fact that she was kissed Craig and basically got some unexpected news. This was the final time JT York was seen on screen and all that. It's kind of sad to see, all that. And Liberty finally becoming human and breaking down with emotions and all that because, she had her cringe-worthy moments. Next episode is If You Leave. Emma causes a riot between Degrassi and Lakehurst when she feels that JT's death is being glossed over and not knowing how to tell Manny that she doesn't want her to move back home. So, yeah. Meanwhile, Marco thinks Dylan is cheating on him again. This episode's kind of weird. Like, a lot of people thought Emma was just trying to destroy Lakehurst for killing JT off. But there's more to the story than what Emma lets on. It's probably manifesting itself that the PTSD that she caught in season 4 may have happened in season 6. After all, the fact JT died just steps from her home and at a party that she and Manny illegally threw, if you will. Like Emma felt guilt and all that if it wasn't for that, then JT might have been alive. So basically, she was upset with Manny. I think Emma was just, and with Manny wanting to move back home, Emma was upset because, she probably wanted to talk to Manny about the issue, and also the fact that Emma may have had a lot of repercussions to do with the stabbing. She had to face it alone. She could have probably just told on Manny. So anyway, Snake thinks it's one thing, Emma really reveals it's another. Basically, that everyone in school has it all wrong about her. So anyway, and I forgot to mention that in the Rock This Town, like after the thing, Nick doesn't get mentioned. It's possible that Nick may have sent somebody to destroy JT, and conspiracy. Drake probably would have spilled the beans. Nick probably would have been convicted of a crime. Next is Free Falling. That's when Paige actually starts having panic attacks while at Banting. She tries to catch up on her schoolwork and prepare a huge family dinner, but stress is getting to her. Peter wants forgiveness from Darcy after the online predator thing. I don't know why Peter would do that. But anyway, the dorm fire happens. Paige drops out of college and moves back to Toronto. She has to still deal with her reoccurring panic attacks because she just doesn't know how people will react. And Peter tries to tell Darcy he's changed. Next is Love My Way. It's when Paige actually decides to go on dates with Spinner and Jesse, trying to get to her pre-painting glory. And Snake is not comfortable with Sean and Emma's level of intimacy. I mean, I know Snake is trying to protect Emma and all that, but Emma makes a nice presentation of the fact that men think that some girls are sluts and all that. All that, like, you know, all that. And Snake understands. Sunglasses at Night is when Marco becomes addicted to online gambling. I thought it was Ellie. I apologize because Ellie was a gambler too. Meanwhile, Peter and Darcy don't know if they should go public with their relationship. Don't You Want Me is the two-part episode that ended season 6. Alex is a waitress at a gentleman's club where she has financial debt. But unfortunately, there's more money to be made on stage. Basically, she's being forced to prostitution. Alex's double life is bringing in the cash, but she has to try to hide it from Paige because it's taking a toll on her schoolwork and her relationship. It's kind of strange how Alex would be so good with her schoolwork, and then all of a sudden, financial debt forces her to do something that she really shouldn't be there for. Sean and Emma's relationship comes to a bitter end. Emma almost gets pregnant by Sean. Now she does catch her period, thankfully. She actually contemplates lying to Sean, saying that she's pregnant, and basically forcing Sean back. But Emma knew she couldn't be the same person that everyone thinks she is. So that was a big problem and all that. So anyway, that's season 6. The MVP of season 6 has to be Liberty. I mean, Liberty having to deal with, a new girl in JT's life and all that, and her finally getting her emotions in check. Finally get her emotions out. So anyway, so Liberty basically is my MVP. I know that it could have been Paige, but Paige wasn't really that big in season 6. So Liberty's my MVP. So that's it for season 6. Season 7 will be coming up soon.